Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle, and we're having coffee. Look at my beautiful new mug that was gifted to me by a lovely lady back east. And she also gifted me this beautiful set of oracle cards called The Rooted Woman that I've been playing with and getting to know and just exchanging energy with over the last few days in readiness to share with you in this very tumultuous time. There are so many people hurting in the world right now, so many things in our life that can keep us in a state of disequilibrium, imbalance, upheaval, tumult, fear. There's a lot of things that are playing in right now and not necessarily good feeling things. So, the rooted woman has some very grounded, very rooted guidance for us today. Good morning, Christina. I haven't seen you live in a very long time. So, the first card, the overarching card, the theme card for this reading is the Fisher King's Court. And this is basically an overarching theme, otherworldly treasures, meaning you definitely want to keep yourself connected to your higher power source, the universe, God, the central sun, the great I am, whatever it is you call that higher power. Like I say, they don't care what we call them. That's a man's thing. That is a human thing. They care that we call them because it is giving them then permission to come in, to help us through these things. There is so much, so many reasons we can become very fearful and off kilter and reactive. And certainly media is one of those things. Media would love to keep us in a state of division and fear because that's easy to control. And they're doing the best they can at that. And so you staying open, willing, ready, guide me to your higher power is a constant invitation for them to step in and help you along the way. A daily practice of just that would be lovely. But certainly if you get to those places of disharmony within you, you definitely want to connect at that point and ask for their help. Good morning, Julia. Yay. I'm right side up. She let me know the other day something that I had done in thinking that it would fix that or make that okay, had set everything backwards. So we're good. We're right side up. Everything's in the right order. So the Fisher King's Court, otherworldly treasures, that is where we can find peace in the chaos. And that doesn't mean we don't care about those in the world that are suffering right now. You know, Asheville, North Carolina has just been inundated. I mean, whole homes gone for several people. And what an incredibly painful process that is, and fearful, and just, I mean, the trauma that goes in when you lose everything all at once. It's like, you know, in the fires we've had. So send your blessings to them, but don't let that pull you out of your connection, because it can, and that's not going to help them. Things have always happened throughout the world. Things are going to continue to happen. The war in the Middle East, the war in the Ukraine, and all these things we don't even know about that are threatening the world and its inhabitants right now. There's going to be more in this reading about that. But the next card that came up was the Keening Woman, which is kind of this dark, not too lovely card, I must say. But it is about grief. And, you know, in a very spiritual, you know, I can't even think of the word. It's a real sense, but it's not a real physical loss. We are letting things go right now. We want to be letting things go. and shadows are coming up to remind us of what is still present and what needs to leave us. And these things are not necessarily easy, just like the people who have lost physically everything in their life are grieving right now, and rightly so. We also are grieving for parts of us that are lost. Sometimes it's due to the aging process, realizing that the likelihood that I'm going to play tennis again is not real good. I mean, that's a very superficial one, but it's something I love to do. Things are falling away and they need to make room for the new. So, remember that just because maybe, it's not what's happening in Asheville, North Carolina in your life, it is still a loss. Someone may be leaving you, family may be passing on, friends may be moving on, things may be dissolving, your job ends. All of this is happening for you, but that does not mean it's an easy process. Go ahead and grieve. Acknowledge that this was difficult for me. I remember being at my sister's and having planned her celebration of life, which I didn't want to do. I mean, I could hardly function after she passed. And this was 5 months after that, and actually 6 months. And so planning it and getting ready for it, and then, making it happen and standing there and talking about it. I mean, in the thing, I started to cry. I didn't want to do that. I wanted it. And then, afterwards I looked at it and got, I could have done so much better of a job. I should have done this. I could have done that. But someone came up to me afterwards, a family member, and said, "Are you still singing?" And I had sung at a few of their funerals. I mean, and it was just like this, no. And then I realized that they thought maybe I would have sung there. It was like, I could not do that in any way, shape, or form. I could hardly talk at this. And, that was 6 months after. And it truly was that year that people say, don't do anything big for a year, because after you have a loss, good morning, Hisham, because, you just need to let yourself process. And the truth was, the end of November, she passed on December night. I started to feel like myself again, but I allowed myself the grace to let the tears come up when they did, express that, I'm sorry if this embarrasses you. This is just the grief from my sister. The grief is the degree to which we love someone, love something, the degree that we were connected to it. So grieve for the lost or the losing or the going parts of you, the going parts of your life, the things that you have lost in life. Grieve and then let that go, but do give yourself the time necessary. So the keening woman, the next card that came up was portal to the mystery. There's the cat, there's this kind of cave, there's like, okay, we don't really know what's out there, but the portal to the mystery. I do want to read this. Here it is. When we embrace mystery, the world declares itself to be a place of potentialities, and our journey through it becomes a journey of discovery. The Cairn card proposes that we give up our need for control. And exactly what's happening, when you see, I'm sorry, I have a hair there tickling me. When you see those houses floating away, those folks absolutely had to give up control. There was no control in them for what was happening to them. And throughout my last 12-year journey, that has been a message to me that has come up on more than one occasion: give up control. My favorite phrase to God, I'm very comfortable calling them that, you call them whatever you feel comfortable with, is, I don't even know what that looks like, because I didn't. It's like I have lived a certain way, as we all have in my life, with certain beliefs about myself, my abilities, what is true for me, all of that. And much of that is falling away now. And that is the mystery. It's like, okay, what is next when these things leave? What is the next great possibility? Always looking forward to that mystery, the discovering of what is next. And I recommend holding your vibration in a higher place, because you can look at the next which means change, which we don't always look at with a joyful, positive expectation. We look at change often as something that is bad. And the truth is, we have been changing from the very moment we've stepped into this world. And, we are nothing like we were when we popped out. We are absolutely different than we were a week ago. It is the slower changes that all of a sudden creep up on us. And so holding that higher vibration, a positive expectation that when one thing goes, it opens us up for something this or something better. A lovely phrase to incorporate in your vocabulary when you're speaking to your higher power, creator, God, the universe, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, whatever you call that higher power of the light. When you are open, willing, and ready, it has been recommended. I am automatically, in tuning myself to those of the light, but you want to be specific to those light beings. And if you get presences that you feel, ask, just like we have the right to say, I need this change to slow down a little bit. It's a little overwhelming for me. We have the right to go, are you of the light? And if you are not of the light, you are to leave. We have that power. We have that right. Exercise that right. I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready. All of you who are of the light and for me in this lifetime, guide me. Be specific. Just like in your manifestation and choosing what you want, be specific in what you are desiring. The other night I did this group I'm in. I have a couple of groups now. Well, yeah, a few groups that I am just so excited to be connected to, because coming together with like minds, like energies. One of the reasons I do the retreats is because it is such an intensification of this positive shifting growth energy, and the kind of growth you can do in that amount of time is just amazing. But we were visualizing and working with the new moon, which is that time of creation. We are still in that energy, which means you have extra energy on your side, helping you create whatever it is you're focusing on. So you really want to be intentional and mindful. So we went into a meditative process, and I was given the gift of feeling that absolute expectation that when I schedule retreats and put them out there, they're full. It was such an amazing, powerful feeling, and one honestly pretty foreign to me. My expectations had always been one of fear, like I hope this fills up so I can hold this retreat. Now it is the expectation. I got to feel that energy. And that is what I keep cultivating. That's what I keep bringing in, because it was foreign to me. It wasn't something that I knew how to do or that I automatically went to. I went more from a place of powerlessness in that process. So we really want to be positive in our expectations of whatever's coming, the mystery that is us in this world. The next card that came up was the Imram. And look she's on this river. She's in this boat, but she has no way of controlling it. It is another same message. Be willing to give up control so you can allow more, and ask, where am I holding on? Where is too much control being exercised in my life by me, so that I know how to shed it? I can give it up. Open, willing, ready, God, to be shown what it looks like to give up control here, what that feels like, what that truth is. Because we walk in this world as a way that we've walked for a long time, with belief systems. And we do want to shed a good number of the belief systems. Most of our belief systems can be very unempowering in some areas of our life. Some areas we feel very powerful in, and other areas we feel at the mercy of. And, we, for many years, we would hear these things, Murphy's Law, if anything bad can happen, it will, cancel. And the other one is, If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Cancel, cancel. That is exactly physically what you want to do with these belief systems. Cancel them, replace them with how you would rather live. You have the right, you have the power to do that, to move into your power on a regular basis. Creator of the light, God, universe, I am open, I'm willing, I'm ready. Guide me in this thing, this very specific thing. Show me what it looks like to positively expect. Show me what it feels like to positively expect the things in my life that I desire. And the last card coming in is the descent. Moving down into the descent is there's no escaping the process, and it can be challenging, but in the place of destruction, gestation, and rebirth, we'll begin to explore the biggest question of all. If we strip away everything we're told must be, what's left? When we choose to let go of everything that once imagined defined us and mattered to us, what then might we become? And that it's so fun, the synchronicity of the cards coming in. It really is that time to let go of our old way of thinking about ourselves, our old way of walking in the world. And we don't have to let go of everything at once. There is likely a thing that has been coming up for you that keeps showing up in your life. It's like, okay, I need to give that up now. Or as I choose love, I choose are very powerful words in every aspect of your life. I choose to let go of this powerlessness I have around whatever your theme is. We all have things. And, you know, again, Facebook looks at you and shows you everything good about their life. People look at that. And you're comparing your insides to their outsides. Some people get very real on Facebook, and some people get real over and over again, and all they can tell you is how awful life is for them. There's a shift that needs to be there too, because all they're focusing on is what is wrong. And when you focus continuously on anything, it magnifies because you're drawing it energetically to you. So you focus by shifting to what you desire to have. And it's a process. It's like, okay, I I have been fearful that retreats were not going to hold. And sure enough, in September, one did not hold. And so, it is time now for me to shift into that feeling, that positive expectation that when I hold retreats, people show up. Why? Because those people need what I'm offering, that I'm bringing through. It's not about me, it's about them and what they need to do and how I can be that catalyst, that conduit. And the other two ladies that are helping co-facilitate, Maggie from Ireland, Karen Gillette, the creative art aspect. And I mean, they're such oracles and wisdom guides themselves. And working together with them is such a lovely, smooth, silky process because we're not in our egos. We're in whatever this group needs, whatever you need is what we're bringing through because that's our job. That's our desire to constantly be in a state of awareness of what the collective needs from us and how we can travel more fully in that desire. So, a lovely, powerful read for this beautiful weekend coming up. Please send your prayers, your healing energy to all the people who have been adversely affected by Helene, to those lovely brothers and sisters suffering in the Middle East, and to the lovely brothers and sisters suffering in Ukraine and Russia. The truth is, the people do not want any of this war. The people want to live their lives and raise their children and be with their families. Every single one of us on the earth wants that. It is the governments, it is those power mongers, the powers that were. It is really good business for General Dynamics, for us to be at war, for us to be financing war. It is really good business. And we are the pawns in that. So it is now time for us to choose to stop the energy of Yay, Julia. Yay. I have half the people now for this retreat in November. So if it's something you've been considering, message me. Let's figure out a way for you to get there. Oh, Christina, I'm loving the art with these cards. Have an excellent weekend. Thank you, Christina. Christina did a beautiful picture, and it's outside in my hallway where people can see it for me. That was just so lovely. She sent me as a gift for some work we did together. Julia sent me these cards and this beautiful mug and just some really fun other things, some feathers and yeah, my kind of thing. Thank you so much for joining me this beautiful Friday in October. Choose this weekend to raise your vibration, be sharing a higher vibration of love, joy, peace, and ease in this world, and be the power of love that you can be. Choose love, choose to shed love, and choose to share love. Thank you so much. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side. You're